Welcome back to the Deep Dive. We're here to help you get truly well informed. Today, we're doing a deep dive into StashAway. You've probably heard of it, a platform that says it makes wealth management, investing surprisingly simple. We've gone through a pretty detailed guide to pull out the key stuff for you.
Yeah, and our mission here really is to unpack how these platforms like StashAway actually work. What are the features? What makes them tick? The goal is to give you that quick, clear picture of digital investing without drowning you in jargon or, too much information.
Exactly, because that core promise is all about simple and accessible investing. And we're going to uncover some, I think, quite insightful facts behind this digital wealth management platform, especially, as you mentioned, it's licensed by the Monetary Authority of Singapore, the MAS. So let's jump right in.
Okay, so let's unpack this first. StashAway, what is it at its heart? It's a digital wealth management platform. That's the brand name. The company is Asia Wealth Platform Pete Ltd. And it's really built around making investing straightforward, easy. And right off the bat, that license from the MAS in Singapore, that seems like a really key point for anyone thinking about using it.
Oh, absolutely. And that MAS license, it's not just like a sticker they put on the box. It's fundamental. It signals credibility because, well, Singapore's regulatory environment is seen as top tier globally. Having that license means StashAway has to follow strict rules. Rules designed to protect you, the investor, and keep things stable. It's a really crucial foundation for trust, especially when you're handing over money online. Yeah, it definitely adds that layer of security. And what I find interesting is how they say it's for both beginners and seasoned investors. So, okay, how do they actually manage that? How do they make it simple for such different types of people?
Well, a big part of it is the tech. The sort of brains behind the investment strategy is their own system. It's called Economic Regime-Based Asset Allocation, or ERA for short. Now, what's clever about ERA, it's not just reacting to what the market did yesterday. It tries to anticipate shifts in the economy. It looks at a whole load of macroeconomic data, things like growth, inflation, is a recession likely, that kind of thing. And based on that forecast of the economic regime, it adjusts your portfolio.
Ah, okay. So it's not just basic rebalancing then. It's more proactive. It's trying to position your assets for what might be coming next, economically speaking.
Exactly. To navigate those potential conditions, always aiming to keep your investments within the risk level you chose initially.
Right, like a smart guidance system working in the background. That sounds pretty interesting. And that leads us nicely to the fact that it's not just one single product, is it? There are different ways to invest using the app. So you've got general investing. That seems to be the main one for long-term growth. You pick your risk level and they build a diversified portfolio for you. Pretty standard, maybe. But then there's StashAway Simple. That sounds different. More like a cash management thing. For cash you don't want locked up.
Precisely. StashAway Simple is for your more liquid cash. The idea is to try and earn a better return than, say, a regular savings account, but without tying it up like a fixed deposit.
Okay.
And even within that, there are choices. There's the basic Simple and Simple Plus that aims for slightly higher returns, but takes on a bit more market exposure. And then Simple Guaranteed, which, as the name suggests, offers a fixed rate and protects your principal. So very low risk.
Interesting. So different options just for managing cash.
Yeah, and having these different options is really useful. It acknowledges that people have different goals for different pots of money, right? Long-term growth needs one strategy, your emergency fund or short-term savings needs another. This lets you match the strategy to the need.
Makes sense. And it goes beyond those, too. I saw mentions of thematic investing.
Right. That's for people who want to invest in specific trends or sectors they believe in, like maybe future tech or clean energy, things like that.
So more targeted.
Exactly. And in some places, they even offer DIY portfolios. That gives you more control to build your own portfolio, but from a list of ETFs that StashAway has curated.
Okay, so quite a range of choices depending on what you're after. So let's switch gears slightly. Beyond the investment types, what about the day-to-day experience? What are the key features that, really matter to someone using the app? A big one that jumps out is no minimums or lockups. You can start with basically any amount and pull your money out whenever you need it, no penalties. That feels huge for accessibility.
It really is. That tackles a major hurdle, doesn't it? People often feel intimidated thinking they need thousands to start investing, or they worry about locking their money away for years. This flexibility just removes that barrier. Yeah. Start small, learn, withdraw if needed. It lowers the perceived risk significantly. Yeah, it definitely opens the door wider. And then fees. How do they stack up?
The fees are pretty transparent. It's a tiered management fee. So it ranges from 0.8% per year down to 0.2% for the investment portfolios. Basically, the more you invest, the lower the percentage fee you pay.
Right, so it scales down. That's
Yeah.
good to know. What else? I think you mentioned rebalancing earlier.
Yes, automated rebalancing. This is super important, but often overlooked. Markets move, right? So an asset that was 10% of your portfolio might grow to become 15%. That changes your risk profile. StashAway's tech automatically buys or sells assets in the background to bring your portfolio back into line with your original risk setting.
Ah, so it does the fiddly work for you, keeping things on track. Exactly. It takes away a complex task that many investors, frankly, either forget to do or don't know how to do effectively.
Okay. And they also provide educational resources, right? Like articles, videos.
Yeah, they do put effort into education. Market commentary, explainers. It helps users feel more informed, understand what's happening with their money and why.
Good for building confidence. And finally, the big one, security. People need to know their money and data are safe.
Absolutely paramount. So two key things here. First, your funds aren't held by StashAway directly. They're held in separate custodian accounts with regulated banks.
Yeah.
So your money is segregated from the company's own funds.
Okay, that's crucial.
And second, they emphasize having a secure server infrastructure, encryption, all the usual tech security measures to protect user data. And if you think about all these features together, the low minimums, the flexibility, the automated management, the education, the security, you can see how they directly address the common worries or barriers that stop people from investing. It's kind of a holistic package designed to make it less scary and more straightforward.
Yeah, it builds a picture of why these digital platforms are gaining so much ground. And just to circle back quickly, the legal entity is Asia Wealth Platform, Pete Ltd.
That's the one holding the MAS license we talked about. And it's worth remembering they're not brand new either. Founded back in 2016. And they operate in several markets now across Asia and also the Middle East. So they've built up a presence.
Okay, good context. So wrapping this up then, for you listening, what's the core takeaway here about StashAway? It seems to be about using technology, like that ERA model, to offer investment options tailored to different needs, from long-term growth to just managing your cash, and packaging it with features like no minimums, low fees, the auto rebalancing, and strong security, all designed to make the whole process, well, simpler.
Exactly. Maybe the final thought to leave you with is how profoundly platforms like this are changing things. It's not just about convenience, it's about access. Access to quite sophisticated data-driven investment strategies like ERA managing risk based on economic forecasts. Strategies that honestly used to be out of reach for most people unless they had huge amounts to invest. Now you can potentially access that with no minimum investment. That really challenges the old way of doing things, doesn't it? It empowers individuals in a way that just wasn't possible before. Definitely something to think about as you consider your own financial path in this very rapidly changing world.